Are you wealthy yet? She walks the red carpet like she owns it. Flashes, cameras, interviews, designer gowns. Everything screams Hollywood success. But behind that confident smile, Sydney Sweeney was fighting a financial truth that most people never imagine. You can be rich on paper, famous on screens, and still live paycheck to paycheck. Sydney Sweeney's rise looked effortless from the outside. By her mid-20s, she had already starred in hit shows like Euphoria and The White Lotus. Millions of fans, endless magazine covers, nominations. It looked like the dream every young actor chases: fame, money, and freedom. But Sydney herself revealed something that shocked fans worldwide. "They don't pay actors like they used to," she said. "I still can't afford to take a 6-month break from work. I don't have anyone supporting me. They don't pay enough to cover that. Wait, how can a Hollywood star earning tens of thousands per episode be worried about money?" The truth is, fame can deceive you. The illusion of fame. To the world, fame means fortune. But inside Hollywood, fame often comes first. Money comes later. And sometimes, it never truly comes at all. Sydney's paychecks may sound huge: $25,000 per episode, $350,000 for a major series. But let's break that down the way she did. Take a check of $350,000. First, 10% goes to her agent, another 10% to her manager, 5% to her lawyer. Then the government takes between 37% and 45% in federal and state taxes. By the time the dust settles, that $350,000 turns into roughly $160,000, and that's before living costs. Now add Los Angeles rent, insurance, PR, wardrobe, stylists, trainers, and travel expenses, all of which celebrities often pay themselves. Acting jobs aren't steady. There's no paycheck every month. Sometimes there's nothing for a year. So what do most actors do? They keep working, keep hustling, and often keep struggling. Sydney's wake-up call. Sydney realized early that depending on acting alone meant living under constant pressure. Every new role wasn't just a career choice. It was a rent payment. Every month without work meant burning through savings. That's when she started thinking differently about money. She didn't want to just earn, she wanted to build. 50/50 Films, the ownership shift. In 2020, Sydney launched her own production company, 50/50 Films. The name says it all: shared power, shared control. Instead of waiting for opportunities, she began creating them. She pitched stories, co-produced projects, and partnered with networks like HBO to bring her ideas to life. This move changed everything, because ownership, even partial, means you're not just an employee, you're a stakeholder. When you own production rights, licensing rights, or intellectual property, you get paid not once, but for years. Every rerun, every streaming deal, every distribution brings more income. That's the quiet difference between an actor and an owner. One gets paid for hours worked. The other gets paid even while sleeping. The brand strategy. Sydney didn't stop there. She turned her rising fame into brand equity. Instead of random sponsorships, she partnered with brands that aligned with her image: fashion, skincare, automobiles. She became the face of Armani Beauty and later signed with luxury car brands like Audi. But unlike many celebrities, she didn't blow that cash on cars and clothes. She used it to build stability. In 2021, she bought a modest fixer-upper home in Los Angeles. Not a mansion, not an estate, but a long-term investment. She remodeled it herself, learning interior design and renovation on the go. Why? Because she wanted control over her money. She said, "Every dollar I spend, I think, will this make me more money later?" That mindset separates temporary fame from lasting wealth. Now let's hop on to lessons we can learn from Sydney's financial story. Then you, my viewer and my subscriber, should decide how to apply it in your daily lives. Lesson 1. Control the project, control the paycheck. Sydney's journey highlights something most people overlook. It's not about how famous you are, It's about how financially independent you become. For her, acting was income, producing was ownership, and ownership turns fleeting fame into generational security. Lesson 2. Build multiple streams. Sydney didn't rely on one paycheck. Her money came from multiple streams. 1 acting salaries, 2 brand endorsements, 3 real estate, 4 her production company. This mix gives her flexibility and freedom, because true wealth isn't built by one source of income. It's built by systems that feed each other. Lesson 3. Spend smart, not loud. In a world where social media celebrates luxury cars and designer bags, Sydney chose differently. She drives a modest car, lives within her means, and reinvests heavily. Her luxury isn't on display, it's in her choices. Every big spender eventually slows down. Every investor eventually speeds up. Sydney is choosing the long game. Lesson 4. Use fame as capital. She realized that fame is a form of capital, not cash, but leverage. Most people spend it on likes. She spent it on ownership. Fame got her attention. Her business sense turned that attention into equity. That's how she transformed from a trending actress to a sustainable entrepreneur. The reality of Hollywood finances. Hollywood loves the illusion of endless money, but Sydney exposed its reality. For every millionaire actor, there are thousands who live from gig to gig. Inconsistent work, heavy taxes, costly management, and when fame fades, many fall hard. Sydney saw that cycle and decided not to repeat it. The turning point. By creating her own production company, she planted her flag in Hollywood differently. Not as just another star, but as a businesswoman with vision. She once said, "If I can build a table, I'll never have to wait for an invitation." That's the spirit of every self-made millionaire in any industry. Key takeaway: Sydney Sweeney's story is more than Hollywood gossip. It's a personal finance blueprint. She started as an actress, became a brand, and evolved into an owner. Her path reminds us, money without management disappears, fame without ownership fades, talent without leverage tires you out. Real power comes when you control both your craft and your cash flow. Modern wealth lesson. We live in an attention economy. Everyone wants views, subscribers, and virality, but very few convert that attention into assets. Sydney shows the smarter route. Build the skill, use the spotlight, own the outcome. Attention fades, but assets last. Timeless message. Sydney Sweeney's journey isn't about Hollywood. It's about maturity. She teaches us that success isn't about how high you rise. It's about how solid your foundation is. It's about learning when to say no, when to reinvest, and when to bet on yourself. You can be young, popular, and still wise enough to build real wealth. She's living proof that you can turn the spotlight into a strategy, and that's how you win. Not just in Hollywood, but in life. You don't need millions to start thinking like Sydney Sweeney. You just need one rule: don't chase the money, build what makes it chase you. Viewers, discretion. This is a new channel. If you want Sydney's story to reach more ears, do drop a like and share it to them. We'll keep on producing videos on financial stories of major Hollywood stars, renowned footballers, heads of states, etc. To join this journey, the notification and subscribe button is just a finger away. And again, are you wealthy yet?